Yes, Audie does have
no,
to
she
ask
does not.
those questions.
Political does not.
Because
Political,
when fans ask them, Bakari,
that's not.
when
We're not
friends
talking.
ask them,
We're not.
when surrogates ask them,
This
they're
is-
not getting
this
the
is
real
so-
answer.
this is so-
That's why Audie needs to
This
ask
is
them.
so in the.
Race hustler Bakari Seller copes over President Trump's press conference today. So in this video, we're going to talk about it. Welcome to the Devori Darkins Show. I am Devori Darkins. You guys already know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can get this out to more people like you and me. So this race hustler called Bakari Sellers, he's absolutely woke. Trump derangement syndrome to the max. Everything is about race. Everything is about gender. You know, it's the typical lefty. And he's on this CNN panel, and he absolutely just melts down because Trump did something that was very smart today. He went out and held a press conference. And basically what he accomplished was disrupting the media cycle, because everything has been about Kamala Harris ever since she was anointed the Democratic nominee without getting any votes. So without further ado, let's watch this video.
And so my point is that today was more of Donald Trump just talking about things that are factually inaccurate, but yet he is not on the campaign trail. He's not engaging voters. And the juxtaposition is someone at the UAW in Detroit, Michigan, versus someone in their lobby spewing lies. And that can be, if we want to do that every day, we'll take it.
Trisha made an excellent point at the beginning of this in the fact that he took questions from the media. When is Vice President Harris going to start taking questions? And two questions on the tarmac on the way talking about a debate is not taking questions from the media.
I think that's the
and
one
that
successful
was the big thing that happened today.
The one successful thing he managed to do was sort of trap her a little bit on this very thing. And look, she's going to take questions. We're going to make sure of that. But, you know, there's been a bit of a honeymoon period. I think she's giving Tim Walz a moment. But he did make that contrast, I think, really clear.
Okay, so you guys heard that really quick. So two major points. Number one, President Trump obviously has run a campaign where he became the president of the United States. So a lot of this is par for the course. A lot of people giving their opinions about what he should do and what he shouldn't do. But obviously he probably knows what he's doing. He is a billionaire. And I think he has a method to how he is moving and operating. So let's give the former president the benefit of the doubt. Now, obviously, these propaganda puppets, they're not going to buy into that type of mindset. So because if they did, then they probably have nothing to talk about or criticize when it comes to him. But anyways, I digress. So that's the first point. The second point was the fact that he did end up forcing Kamala Harris to come out and finally answer some questions. You guys got to understand something. They do not want her answering questions because it's actually her weakness. Her strength right now is to not be seen. Her strength right now is to do rallies that are in a controlled environment. Okay, she's just like President Biden. Do not put them in a place where they are outside their comfort zone. It's going to blow up in their face. So that's what's going on right now. And so obviously when President Trump did this press conference today, it stole some of that spotlight and then got her to come out and answer some questions. And it was still really crazy, which we will get to in the later part of this video. But let's continue to see what this guy said.
Let me just also say this. Like, don't nobody care but us about somebody
That's not
taking
true.
questions. No, that is very true.
I speak to swing state voters all the time. They have questions, they want answers.
No. But yes, they have questions, they want answers. But you know what doesn't have to happen? Audie doesn't have to ask those questions.
Yes, Audie does have to ask
she does not.
those questions.
Political does not.
Because when fans ask them, Bakari,
That's not-
when
we're not
friends
talking-
ask
we're
them,
not-
when surrogates ask them,
This
they're
is-
not getting
this
the
is
real
so-
answer.
this is so-
That's why Audie needs to ask them.
This is so in the Beltway.
No,
Because-
it really isn't.
Oh, it
I'm
is.
telling you,
Having
Bakari,
CNN
I
what is the
speak
point
to
of
swing
having
state
CNN
voters
or journalists?
every
But
single day.
so that you can get amazing, handsome faces on
And I
CNN
love
like me.
that.
That's the
Okay,
point.
Okay, so you guys saw that. I got to hand it to you guys. This guy, he's absolutely woke as they come. He's absolutely delusional. Questions need to be answered. The media should be pressing her for questions because that's what they do to President Trump. Every time he steps outside, they are trying to get some type of answer out of him. Everywhere he goes, they want their questions answered. So why is that standard not being applied to Kamala Harris? And we already know what the answer is. It's a propaganda machine. They are doing everything they can to protect her. And he's definitely in on it. There's no question about it. He's absolutely biased. I find it funny that they have these freaking titles, political strategists, but they're really just propaganda strategists. That's what they should really be called. because they can't be unbiased to save their life. And as you guys can see, they're willing to go to a level where they don't even believe that the media should be looking to ask Kamala Harris questions. So I think if that's what he's saying, just imagine the rest of that party and the people behind her. They do not believe she needs to answer any questions right now. And what's happening is she's gaslighting a lot of Americans out there. They want their questions answered, and there is no question about that, no pun intended. But let's continue.
What I'm just saying to you is that this campaign is not one that's just online.
But Bakari, I adore you. You know that.
Yeah,
you
we
know that.
rock.
But you will lose, and you're not the first person to make this argument that she doesn't need to do this. It's very inside the beltway.
will?
This is for us. You lose credibility when you do that. Because if it were someone else, you would be demanding that they sit down for questions. And you know what? It'll make her a better candidate if she does it.
But that's...
And
Go ahead.
why shouldn't she? She should answer these questions for the American
and she
people.
will.
But why not now?
Because why
not
do you
answer?
have to? But why do you have to? First of all, let me ask you this question. Just a fundamental question. If Kamala answers no questions today, and Donald Trump says that he had more people at a rally than Martin Luther King Jr., which one is better?
I think that is like a complete misnomer.
Why? Because that's what he said today.
Because it's a false choice.
Because he said it today.
Neither are good. Neither are good.
Exactly.
I wanted her to make the point, though. Can you admit that neither are good?
Yeah, so you guys seen that. And that is the issue at hand, is that Kamala Harris and her campaign is running on zero substance. Obviously, President Trump, when he did his press conference today, he provided some level of substance. There's a lot of people who did not like it because they're obviously biased. But this man, this former president, this billionaire, he obviously knows what he's doing because we're talking about him. And that's the whole missing point about all this. The media is absolutely melting down. They're absolutely coping over the fact that they have to go on TV tonight and they have to bring him up first before they bring up Kamala Harris, because for the last 14 days or so, it's been all about her. But understand something. President Trump is a true marketer. He knows how to go out there and get attention. And he's really good at that. And the media doesn't like that he has that ability. But it's funny because the irony, they must like that he has that ability, because if he didn't exist, what else would they be talking about? What would their ratings be then? I mean, their ratings are already in the trash. We know this, right? We know this. But like, what's the purpose of them if there was no Donald Trump? Like, it's that crazy at this point, right? Their sole purpose is to literally fall in line and support Kamala Harris so President Trump does not make it back to the White House. That's the whole purpose right now. Whether they know this directly or indirectly, it's coming from the top down. You know this to be true because all you have to do is look on all the YouTube channels. Look at how they program their TV shows. It's all geared towards making President Trump look bad and not ever second guessing Kamala Harris. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of a propaganda machine. So you know how I was telling you earlier in the video that he did get her to actually come out and answer a few questions. Why don't we just take a look at that really quick?
President Trump had a press conference today. He talked about a lot of things. Wonder if you have a reaction to what he talked about.
Well, I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it, and hope he shows up.
Are you open to more debate?
I'm happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th, for sure.
It's supposed to more states.
Like I said, happy to have that conversation.
What do you think he pulled out of the speech? Why?
I am beyond speculating about how he thinks.
Can you comment on some of his other criticisms? He made a whole litany of them today. Some of them are about your...
I was busy talking to voters. I didn't hear him.
Some of the criticism has been about your vice presidential pick and his leading the National Guard at 24 years. Vance said that he deserted his own troops or his own colleagues. What's your take on that?
Listen, I praise anyone who has presented themselves to serve our country. And I think that we all should.
Matter of fact, President, there's been a lot of questions about when you're going to sit down for your first interview since being the nominee. Do you have any
I've talked to my team. I want us to get an interview scheduled before the end of the month.
What do you make about the attack on your husband's face?
Yeah, so you can see at the end there, she looked a little frightened. I'm just, poking fun at her, of course. But yeah, I guess they were able to get at least 60 seconds in when it comes to her answering questions after Donald Trump's 62 minutes today at his press conference. But hey, who's counting, right? So as I wrap up today, Bakari Sellers, he's absolutely a race hustler. He's absolutely a guy who's woke. He definitely hates President Trump. There's no question about that. And he's so deranged to the point where he's willing to even push back on the idea that Kamala Harris should be answering questions right now. I mean, that's how crazy he is. She should answer questions right now because there's a lot of people in the middle, swing voters, independents, who don't know who to vote for. A lot of people may say, well, why don't they just vote for Trump? They need something to compare and contrast. There's nothing to compare and contrast if you're only hearing one person lay out their policies, but the other person is not. So it actually ends up backfiring on her if she does not finally answer questions. And furthermore, there's rumblings to say that she will do an interview at the end of August. But this is an interview where it's a sit down, it's a one-on-one. That's not going to cut it, okay? She needs a full-on press conference where she's getting hit with question after question after question. That's what Trump did today. That's what Trump has always been doing, and he's never backed down from that. Clearly, she's unable to do that because when we look into history and we look at the clips, she's going to say something stupid. So all of you guys out there, you may be feeling like, oh my God, this is crazy, or is she going to win the election? Guys, just wait till she has to go in front of a camera. I do not believe she's going to flip a switch and sound intelligent and be perfect with her delivery. She will not. She will sooner or later screw it up, especially when it comes to the debate. But that's my mindset. What about you? What do you guys think about the fact that, CNN and bringing on someone like Bakari Sellers and how he's trying to say that, oh, she doesn't need to answer questions right now? I mean, I want to know what your guys' answers are and more in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out the video today. Stay grateful, stay focused, and stay true. Peace.